Good morning, welcome to Catex TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Monday, September 28, 2015. If you want to follow us on Twitter, go to Catex TV. Probably the biggest news today is what's not news. The Pope has arrived back in Rome early this morning on an overnight flight from Philadelphia. He has left the United States. Yesterday, late afternoon, there were over 1.5 million people in Center City, Philadelphia for an outdoor mass. He then visited a prison, meeting with prisoners, and flew back to Rome. So the United States at least returns to normal. However, New York City is today seeing a convening of world leaders, including the Iranian president, the Russian president, and of course President Obama, who is scheduled to meet later today with President Putin. Meanwhile, Taiwan is sitting dead center right now as Super Typhoon Dujuan is heading toward it. 7,000 people have been evacuated already. The storm is expected to make landfall at about 1500 Greenwich Mean Time today. Huge waves are already striking the northeastern coast of Taiwan. Fishing boats have been called back to harbors. And meanwhile, operations of ports and train stations have now been halted. There are a number of people on the move because there's an annual festival that's been in coordination with the harvest or the blood moon that was seen worldwide last evening. The president of the Maldives appears to have escaped unharmed from an explosion on his speedboat as he returned to the luxury tourist destination from the Hajj pilgrimage in Saudi Arabia. The boat carrying the president, Yamin Abdul Gayoom, and his wife blew up as it approached the main jetty of the capital of Male. Observers said it was a relatively large blast. The explosion could be heard blocks away. Part of the roof of the speedboat's housing fell in, but the president is safe. He did not sustain injuries. The Maldives is known for its expensive upmarket island resorts, but the small Muslim country has also been hit by political infighting, although it's not known for serious political violence. In northeastern Spain, where Barcelona is located, in the province of Catalonia, an election was held yesterday that augurs not well for Spanish unification. Pro-secession parties pushing the Catalonian region to break away from Spain won a landmark victory yesterday by capturing a majority of seats in the regional parliament, setting up a showdown over independence with Madrid sometime later this year. Many Catalans or Catalonians favor breaking away from Spain, say that their region, which represents about 20% of Spain's economic output, pays too much in taxes and receives less than its fair share of government investment. This could be quite interesting, actually, and much more dramatic than the effects of a Scottish pullout. The economy of northeastern Spain and Catalonia is quite strong. Royal Dutch Shell said this morning that it would cease drilling in the Arctic after disappointing results. This would end a costly project that has caused a surge in environmental concerns. The gas company pressed ahead with its multi-billion-dollar exploration program offshore Alaska this summer despite tumbling oil prices and criticism coming from people including the Archbishop of Canterbury. The company is going to walk away after the Burger J well it drilled in the Chukchi Sea this summer only showed traces of oil and gas. The decision is going to cause the abandonment of a $7 billion exploration project. It reflects the high costs of the project as well as the continuing drop in the price of oil. Shell obtained its licenses to explore the Chukchi Sea back in 2008 when oil prices were over $100 a barrel. Now they're at $45 a barrel. ExxonMobil has already shelved its plans to drill in the Arctic after U.S. imposed sanctions on Moscow's energy industry following the annexation of Crimea. Chevron has also put its Arctic exploration on hold, and BP has suspended its Canadian Arctic exploration. Here's an interesting story. According to the Chinese, somebody finally got it right. British Chancellor George Osborne has been praised by Chinese state media for not mentioning any allegations of human rights during his visit to the country. An editorial published in the Global Times English language daily in China over the weekend, The government said he is the first Western official in recent years who has stressed more the region's business potential instead of finding fault over human rights issues. It should be diplomatic etiquette for foreign leaders not to confront China by raising the human rights issue. As a foreign finance minister who comes to China to seek business opportunities, he should keep a modest manner. Mr. Osborne indeed did keep a modest manner and talked only about finance, although to his credit, he did visit the Uyghur capital of Xinjiang on Wednesday, which is really an out-of-the-way place. Switzerland's competition regulator identified 7 banks that are being investigated as part of a probe into whether companies in Europe, the US, and Japan colluded to manipulate the prices of gold, silver, and platinum. UBS, Deutsche Bank, HSBC, Barclays, Morgan Stanley, Julius Baer, and a unit of Tokyo-based trading company Mitsui are part of the probe. UBS was granted conditional leniency in the Swiss case. According to a person familiar with the matter, this means that UBS may escape punishment because it came clean early and cooperated with regulators. UBS said back in May that it had won immunity in criminal charge charges brought for the same issue by the United States Justice Department. And here we are at the end of September, and for the first time in 100 years, no hurricane has reached the Atlantic Ocean. Each powerful storm this season has been obliterated by the prevailing El Nino winds coming off the Pacific. 9 named storms have formed, although none of them made the longitude line of 55 west, which means that no Atlantic hurricane has been within 2,000 miles of the U.S. mainland this year. This has not happened since 1914, which, in case you need help with the math, is 101 years ago. Very interesting. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.